In this short video, we'll talk about AI strategy and governance. The first question enterprises are asking is, I already have a business strategy, I have an IT strategy. Do I really need an AI strategy? We feel very strongly that all enterprises should have an AI strategy because of there is a big difference in the digital technology and the AI technology in terms of the three tripod of people, process, and technology. Because the people working on AI projects will be much different from the people working on digital projects. And all the processes which we have developed over the last kind of 5 decades in terms of SDLC and DevSecOps will change. And the technology, as you know, is brand new technology just released in the last 2 years or so. And there is going to be very high element of audio, video, images, documents, which are going to become core data. So the multimodal data is going to become the core enterprise data, where it was playing a side role on the digital side. And there are a lot of use cases which are never even attempted because it was not possible in the non-AI era, and which will have profound impact on customers, employees, suppliers, and overall enterprise. And then, of course, the ethical risks are going to multiply. And so it is very important that enterprise should have an AI strategy. What are the drivers for the AI strategy? How do you adapt? Because as we have seen in even other technologies, a lot of hype, a lot of interest, a lot of proof of concepts, but never really get deployed in scale. So how do we adapt, and how do we adapt it across all business units, geographies, and all areas of business? So the impact is going to be vast, starting from customer, employee, business partners, and then the whole enterprise. So this is going to have a huge impact. And the value it can create can be very, very, very high if you pick the right use cases, and the value you can create can be very, really high. And usually the technologies, people talk about cost saving, operational efficiency. But right now with the AI technology power, lots of discussions are happening in terms of how do I increase my sales? How do I beat my competition better? And so there is a profound impact on top line. And of course, the bottom line is kind of basically it's going to be multiple times savings as we got in the digital and robotic process automation. And this is a very step up kind of a savings on the business operations. And whole new customer experience to the extent that people need not wait on call centers and then start listening to some music which they don't like. So, and going much beyond human agents in understanding the customer's likes, dislikes, customers' problems, and solving it, and then doing upsell, cross-sell. And so it's going to be a whole new ball game on the customer experience side. And how do you reduce the kind of normal day-to-day treasury type work out of employees so that they can get their problems solved at the touch of a button, and they can really worry about the higher levels of, say, product engineering, innovation, and really take care of platinum customers, etc. So there will be a huge amount of extra time available for employees to better engage with customers. And much beyond what we ever thought of. I think simulations, predictions, which is going to help in all these areas. So, and big change, it will really help you to plan ahead. Where is the market going? What's happening in the globe? What is the competitor doing? So that you can get advance warning kind of 2-3 years before. So you can get ready with ever-changing customer demand. So these are the basically drivers for really basically developing a AI strategy. And if you look at, I talked about the tripod of people, process, technology. I mean that this tripod never goes away. And the new technologies, we know that there are a lot of Gen AI models. Some are commercial, some are open source. And there is a whole new engineering, which started off in the last year and a half or so called prompt engineering. And a whole concept called AI agents, which are going to be using the RAG technology, which are going to be helping you to develop workflows and do actions and connect into the enterprise databases, the company domain information. So there's going to be more technologies on AI agents and whole new technologies for image, video, audio, natural language processing, some of the older models. And how do we work with them? How do we train them? So there is going to be a whole new skills and technologies have to be developed there. And in terms of project teams, it is not going to be a IT driven or a IT driven team. It's going to be driven by domain experts, business, some amount of IT, some amount of ethical experts, risk management experts, and experience in data management, data quality, and especially data in terms of videos, images, documents. So it's going to be a whole new set of skills and whole new different set of people involved, where the actual Python or Java or whatever coding is going to be at the minimum level. And the process is going to be entirely new because most of the software development lifecycle models till now talks about requirements, design, development, unit testing, various levels of testing. And today you talk about data, data management, data collation, data labeling, data quality, and then training the model, and little bit of integration, AI agent development, etc. And so this is a new process. And very interesting thing is the testing. What data I will use for testing? Because there is a conflict of interest. There is both the development and testing team wants the same data. And so a lot of interesting kind of things are happening on the testing side. And post-deployment production support is very interesting because the model is ever changing, even though we don't change the software. Because model is learning and sometimes models may degrade. And so the post-implementation support also requires a new process and the new way of raising tickets, etc. And so people, process, technology, everything will undergo a big change. What are the strategy components? How do I align with my business? The AI initiative cannot be outside of the business initiative. So if you are looking at, I want to expand into this geography, I want to expand, I want to got 2x growth on this particular vertical of mine. What is the business process which currently is getting used? And how do I improve the process? How do I develop a new process which gives much better customer experience? So very, very important that you closely align it with the business. And basically start looking at, there is no point in kind of crying over spilt milk, people say. Let's look into what data can I collect in the enterprise, which is basically sitting around in archives, in your camera images, in some CCTV camera, in warehouses, in factories, in various shops, retail shops, and all the call center audio recording, which are just sitting in archive tapes, which are used only to retrieve once in a while when the authorities ask for it. So how do you basically create that whole data factory, the data engine? That is going to be extremely important. And that is what they're talking about, data pipelines. So where is the data available? What data is going to come next? First, you may start with the image data. Next, we will add audio data. And that kind of how do I keep continuing to give more inputs into the model so I can get better kind of relationships. And then you have to say, what is the infrastructure? Do I choose the OpenAI based ChatGPT, Microsoft Copilot, or I go with Gemini and then the Google components? What is my strategy in terms of large language model? What kind of tools I'm going to buy for building RAG and AI agents? So, on the cloud services, how do I get them CISO certified, digital certified? So when the projects are completed, there are no hurdles in putting it into production. So kind of pre-certified for security. So how do I build my fundamental basic infrastructure so that the AI projects can be executed one after another? Very important. How do I upskill employees? How do I democratize the AI knowledge at all levels, various levels of training at finance, marketing, sales, human resources, legal, marketing, corporate communications, all the functions which are generally considered corporate, who don't usually play a role, will play a big role. And then the customer service agent, the customer operations, and then the IT staff at various levels of upskilling training. And everyone feels comfortable about AI, everyone understands how the AI systems work. So they'll be able to explain to their customers who they deal with on a day-to-day basis. Very important that right in the beginning, right from the CEO to CXOs reporting to him or her, that take a pledge about, I will deploy responsible AI. I will choose tools which are committed to responsible AI, and I will choose use cases, business use cases, kind of which will ensure responsible AI is deployed, and I will take immediate corrective action if I find anything wrong in this area. So how do I set up the risk management, governance frameworks? How do I get commitment from the technology vendor? How do I test for risk compliance before putting it into scale production? And so this is going to be a very important components of the strategy. And to actually drive this for the initial 2 to 3 years, we strongly recommend, as a part of strategy, set up a center of excellence, COE, where there will be a use case, kind of funnel, factory, there is an infrastructure, there is a POC factory, and the calculation of the business benefits and various stages of approvals, and then putting it into production and then maintaining it. And so that this can become a acceptable kind of projects, and then it can later on merge into the core IT structure. So these are the components. And then thank you for Thank you for watching the video.